Hi, everybody, and welcome to our final webinar of 2024. We're happy you could join us today for a half hour of LinkedIn best practices about building connections and a community in the digital age. So we hope to share maybe some new strategies with you today, along with some updates on old strategies. And thank you to Beth Wagmeister for being our interpreter today. And of course, thank you to our Vice President, Dayve Gabbard, for everything that she does for DWCS. We love her. And unfortunately, she has no voice today. So off we go. Okay. The first thing that we like to do in our webinars, those of you who have been with us on these, we do like to go through the LinkedIn model that we have, the model we have for DWCS. And Davey, if you would start the slides, that would be helpful. Thanks.
I'm sharing. Do you not see?
No,
Okay.
but I'll talk our way through it while you figure
Yeah.
that out. Okay, so we are old school in my company because of this gray hair. We're old school, but we also are on top of technology. Thanks to my staff, that's awesome, and Davey is one of our tech geniuses. And we do like to reiterate, that you want to do a know, like, trust mindset when you go into LinkedIn and building your network. We also, Davey, can you advance it? I don't think I have the ability. You want to start with a complete and optimized LinkedIn profile. All the basics should be filled in, and your end result should be a presence on LinkedIn that makes you knowable, likable, and trustworthy. Trustworthy, by the way, I'm going to throw an aside in here. If you have not done your ID verification right after your name to get that nice little crest with a check mark, please, please, please do that. You can do it in 5 minutes with the mobile app. If you get onto your profile on mobile, you can just tap on more on your own profile, and it'll give you the option to verify your ID. If you've gotten on a plane ever, you probably have Clear. That is a TSA app that a lot of people don't realize they have it. In which case you're looking at a 4-minute process to get that verification done. And what it does is it immediately tells people that land on your profile, you are a human being. You're not a bot. You're not one of the, excuse me, millions of LinkedIn fake profiles. That is a reality. They have over 1 billion members now, but there are many fake profiles. And for people to get business relationships off to the right start, you need to have a trust factor established. And that little check mark will take you a long way into that part of relationship building. So initiate that ID verification if you haven't done so already. So you want to continually build your network. It's something you never stop doing. I've been on LinkedIn for a little over 14 or 15 years, and I have almost 16,000 first level connections. I don't say that to brag. I say it to make a point. I send out invitations to connect every single day. It's become a habit with my coffee. I don't just make it a numbers game. I'm strategic, and I'm going to get into that more later. And you want to cultivate relationships, and that's what this is all about. We're going to give you some strategies for not just connecting, but really developing a true business relationship before anything else like selling takes place. Um, don't pitch out of the gate. Davey's favorite saying. Unfortunately, people still do it. It's the worst way to use this platform. We all get it. People connect with us. We might give them the benefit of the doubt, even if they look, maybe. We connect, and instantly we get a 4-paragraph response. Hey, Debbie, thanks for connecting with me. Did you know you can do lead generation on LinkedIn? We can show you how to da 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 da. Obviously, they have not looked at my profile. And obviously, they are spamming people with what we call scraping software. Um, it's not allowed. it's going to get you shut down, plain and simple. If you are using an extension to automate or accumulate masses of invitations in one shot, you'll be calling us to get you out of what we call LinkedIn jail, and we're going to charge you for it. I used to give away a lot of time doing that as a favor, and we don't do it as a favor anymore because you shouldn't be using that software in the first place. It defeats the whole purpose of authentic relationship building. Okay, so engage in a way that brings value, know, like, and trust, obviously. Onward. Okay, so how do you build relationships that matter? You want to continue connecting, and we're all in business. We're all selling, actually. You're either selling products or services, or you might be in transition selling your expertise. Davey, you can flip into a couple more bullets if you would. We definitely need community now more than ever. There's a lot going on in this country. I think it's a safe bet to say every area in the world has their issues, but we just had a major election and we're going to be seeing some definite changes in 2025 that'll probably affect almost everybody at some point or another. We need community now. There is an epidemic of loneliness during the month of December. I'm just going to put it out there. Back in my days of unemployment, which amounted to almost 12 months, uh, by far, the holiday season was the worst. There is nothing, in my opinion, aside from having sick relatives or something really serious like that, but there's nothing more depressing than going into December unemployed. And then you got to go through Christmas, and then you get that week in between, and you got to go to New Year's, and it's like, it's a downtime for a lot of people. So, be aware that people aren't always as they appear to be. And something of late, just in the last few days, that's been going around LinkedIn. Instead of asking people, how are you? Try asking them, what's keeping you busy? Because how are you to somebody that's really depressed? They might end up unloading on you in the way that you're not expecting. And if you don't have the mindset of being willing to listen sincerely, you might be caught off guard and it might become a pretty awkward conversation. So I like the phrase, what's keeping you busy instead of how are you? So I'm transitioning that myself to a long time habit. Holiday stress, hello. Yes, everybody has it, whether you want to admit it or not. We all have overloaded calendars and throw in a couple of major holidays in there. Major, traffic issues if you're driving. And AAA said there are more drivers on the road this year than ever. And I heard an astronomical number of flights that are taking place today. It's just an incredibly stressful time because in light of getting where you're trying to go, if you are traveling, good luck. You've got everything else to consider. Are you ready? Are you mentally ready to take some time off from work? Are you ready to mix with your family? Some families don't always get along as well as others, so there's a lot going on. And then the idea of going into a new year and are you ready? And there's a million long list of things to be stressed out over. So make sure you're kind to yourself, get some meditation in there somewhere, even if it's 10 minutes. I know because I was never one that practiced that on a regular basis, and now I do. I don't care what's going on. And that did get me in a little trouble this morning because some people jumped on my calendar and added some phone calls this morning. And I'm out on my patio having my coffee and meditating. Yeah. So be aware. There's a lot going on. Year-end activities, there's a million of them. I haven't finished signing up for holiday parties and networking yet, but I'm getting there. Then we have quiet quitting. People that are just, they've had it with the stress at work, or the boss that wants to micromanage, or a number of other challenges that people have put up with all year. And they're at the point where I'm done, I'm going to find something else to do. I actually applaud those people because if you're in a stressful work environment and it really starts to get to you, get out. It is not worth your health, and it can become serious health issues if you continue in that kind of toxic environment. And then we have what Davey calls revenge quitting. Yeah, that might happen in January, just to get back at a not so pleasant boss or whatever the scenario is, again, you're at the point where, hey, they're going to have a tough time without me and I'm going to show them. And they quit. Think of the depth of your connections, okay? They are not just a number. They are people you've connected to, hopefully with a purpose and value. And yes, relationship building takes time. And I think that is one of the biggest challenges that people have, especially when you learn on LinkedIn, you can get in front of whatever target you are after, wherever they are, in whatever industry they work in. They are there and they are searchable, and you will find them pretty quickly, even with just a basic knowledge of the platform. So, if you want to build a relationship with someone that is a surefire customer for you, but they don't know you, you are going to have to be willing to take time to build that relationship. Be consistent and be yourself. Absolutely. Consistency is key on LinkedIn for everything from the way you connect with people, what you do afterwards, what you post, when you post, and just be consistent and be authentic. Just be yourself. Be amazed how that works, especially when people aren't used to seeing a transparent you. It's totally okay to do what I call mix up your posting. When you're posting from your profile, it should be a mix of content, not just all about your company or all about the networking you do or whatever. You'll see me do hopefully an interesting video this weekend that's totally out of my normal posting, a quick video, just to point out a few fun things to people. And I know I'm going to be sharing a few things that people don't know about me. So, hey, something interesting to look at on a Saturday. Um, Please go on to the next slide. Thanks, Davey. So again, relationships first. And this is a thought. How do you buy? What do you do to prep yourself to make purchases? And this is a great month, to kind of take a step back and look at that. You want to know who you're buying from. You want to comparison shop, hopefully, unless you're a millionaire, just want to throw money away. But you do usually check around for pricing, especially with Amazon in place and everything else. And the retailers, yeah, they're trying to keep up and they're trying to get you through their door when it's just as easy to sit here and be in your pajamas and bring up Amazon. You want to do some comparison shopping. Your brand name versus generic, mindset, is that important to you? Bottom line, how do you like being sold to online? What does it make you feel like when you get that connection request, you accept it, and they come right back and go down your throat with why you need to buy from them? That's an instant delete, ignore, report. I do everything before I actually block the person because I want LinkedIn to look at what they're doing. And trust me when I say LinkedIn does care about people that are spamming like that. They don't want it on their site any more than you do, but don't forget they have 1 billion members. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to try to control. And reporting somebody before you block them, look for those 3 little dots in the upper right corner. They are there on every invitation to connect, every response in messaging back and forth, every article, every post, every newsletter. Those 3 little dots in the upper right corner have options under them. And when you report somebody, it's anonymous. So, and they do give you choices, and one of them is spamming, and I use it frequently. And then I go to the person's profile and I click more, and there's your option there. And you can block them And that's that. It's anonymous. And unless they look you up later, they're not going to know that you've blocked them and they're not going to find you. And you can't find them either. It's a two-way thing. Validation. Okay. Who are you buying from? Are they trustworthy? Do they know their stuff? Are their products tested? And, can you feel good about spending your money on their service or product? People look at everything on profiles. You'd be surprised. I really, really, really wish LinkedIn, are you listening? Pull up those recommendations to somewhere near the top of the profile. They put them at the bottom. I will tell you, if you are job seeking, HR people will fly right down to the bottom of your profile. They are looking for current recommendations in the past 6 months. So if you haven't had any for a while, take a look at your list of connections and give to receive. Offer somebody a nice recommendation that you know can turn around and reciprocate because they usually will, especially if it's unsolicited. But testimonials, recommendations, look on their website for the same. They should be there, and that should add to your research about who you're finally going to make that purchase from. Know, like, and trust, that is the bottom line. So you have to be willing to spend a little time on developing that. Okay. Keep calm and network during this insane, crazy, stressful month. So depth of connections versus breadth of network. Have some variety in your network. You do want to connect with people that are in your target market, but you can go outside that mindset and you can connect with people who are connected to people that you need to be in front of. And that's called leveraging your network. So, second level connections become kind of important because you always know that you have at least one person in between you and that target as a mutual connection. And if they've practiced the way that we teach people how to connect, have something in value, please, with every single person. If you do, and you pay attention to that factor when you're connecting and building your network, chances are much better that if you come back to that person later and say, hey, I noticed you're connected to so-and-so. Would you mind introducing us? Okay. If you try asking someone that you have nothing in common with, but you're connected, if you come across like that to somebody that you don't really have anything in common with, they're going to say, no, why should I do that for you? Keep that in mind. That is one of the strongest ways to get in front of your target is leveraging your network. Use your ability to lean on a connection for an introduction. It's one of our favorite strategies. Make new friends, but keep the old. Oh boy. Yeah, this is the time. And I'm going to start this weekend. I love voice messaging on LinkedIn. Obviously, you got to do it through the mobile app, but I am going to be looking up a whole bunch of people that I have not talked to in a long time. And I'm going to start with clients and try to reconnect with them. We have lots of them. That mobile message is 1 minute in length, so you can't get too wordy. But you can jump on the phone, look up people in messaging on your phone app, and there's a little tiny microphone to the right of the field where you would normally, type in your message. It's a wonderful feature. And you can practice the recording until you like the way it sounds, and then you send it off. You'll stand out because on the other side, when people receive a voice message, it's a blue line and it stands out from all the text messages back and forth in LinkedIn's inbox. So try voice messaging. I love it. And you're done. 1 minute, and sometimes less than a minute. But this is a great time to do this. I love it because I'll sit and if I really want to dedicate even a half hour to doing this, I can easily get 20 1 minute messages out there. Hey, I just wanted to say happy holidays. I know it's been ages. I hope this finds you doing really well and thriving. Let's try to get together after the holidays or whatever you want to say. Keep it short, cheery, professional, and just let it go. And you'd be surprised how many responses you're going to get from that little gesture, 1 minute recording. Yes, express gratitude always. I'm telling you, and I've said this for years. Um, every morning, I express gratitude before my feet hit the floor. Every single morning. It's part of my habit of waking up from hopefully a good night's sleep, and just getting ready for the day. I'm grateful to have another day. I know that's really basic, but guess what? It's true. I have a good friend. 2 weeks ago, she lost her husband unexpectedly. She is devastated. I feel for her. And I attended the funeral last weekend, and it's a stark reminder of how short life can be. So be grateful. Offer recommendations, just talked about that. Make it personal and unique. I think that goes along with whatever effort you're making at furthering the relationship along. Um, People want to know who you are, not just what you do or what your company does. They want to know you. This is where authenticity comes in really strong, and it is going to be a major factor going into 2025. Excuse me. People want the real you, so don't be afraid to share some of that. You can easily do it in your LinkedIn about narrative. There's a few things in mind. I'm going to be tweaking it again before the new year. It's time. But there's a few things in there that I like to share, and I sometimes will use a statement as a conversation starter. So they read it and they think, oh, what does she mean by that? Or I'd like to know more about that. Or, has she really been snow skiing since age 5? Yes. Have I snow skied recently? No. I traded skis for diving tanks when I moved to Florida. Have I done that lately? No. But I love snorkeling. I love the Keys. Who doesn't like the Florida Keys? But it's okay to share things like that, in addition to all of the typical and normal business information you share. Okay, inviting some of your connections to your next networking event. Absolutely. So I'm going to be attending Dave Cherico's event on Wednesday, Networking to Help Children, because it's at Bimini Twist. And if you've not been to Bimini Twist, it's one of my favorite restaurants. But he does great work raising money for charities. And the next day, I'm going to attend the Palm Beach North Chamber Holiday Mixer. And it's at the mall, Gardens Mall. And you might think, oh, that's going to be crazy. It's really well organized. So there you go. I'm plugging both of those events. But you can invite people that you haven't met face to face, that they're local, invite them to a networking event. And when you do that, make sure it's all about them. That's not the time for you to be selling or promoting to them face to face. It's a time to be taking that person around and introducing them to as many people as you can to help them build their network. Because what do you do after an event? You invite people to connect that you met at the event, of course. All right, let's go on with engaging. So engaging with the feed. I'm just going to give you step one of our action plan that we've used for over a decade. You want to scan. Don't start reading. You want to scan your homepage feed and react to as much as you can with a simple like. If you're commenting, make it more than 10 words. Engage with the posts, especially the posts that are being done by people that are a target for you and you're on the basic membership. You don't have that opportunity to personalize your invitations as much. And we can keep going on those bullets, Davey. When you repost, when you share someone's post, this is fairly new, and I know it's going to sound odd to a lot of people, but just reshare it without any introduction. And that contradicts what we've taught for years. So I'm actually in the midst of experimenting with that. But I'm being told by people that know the back end a whole lot better than I do that algorithm favors that over your verbiage and then their post. So try just hitting share without your thoughts. See what happens for your visibility. Okay, the @ sign in front of a person's name or a company name is going to draw attention to them immediately because it turns into a link for their profile or their company LinkedIn page. Okay, and your own content. Well, think about your business calendar. You can post about events coming up that you're attending or that you've just attended. Events are great, for before, during, and after posting. Best practices, basically, you can't go wrong with consistency. And I like to think consistency of timing because it's so easy to schedule posts now on LinkedIn. Once a day is plenty. And we do look at the number of connections people have. And if you've got like 500 connections, you don't even have to post once a day. I would do twice a week if you had 500 connections. The more you have, the more robust your feed will be to others. Scheduling, when you hit post on your homepage, like you're getting ready to post, type it out, add an image, and look in the lower right corner for a little tiny, tiny clock icon. You can schedule ahead. And we have a brilliant VA on our team, Veronica, and she'll get on Sunday. She'll go on to do a whole week's worth of posting for her clients with that scheduler. It's a brilliant thing to get into the habit of. Posting videos is great. Keep them at a minute or less. I go for 59 seconds when I do them with my phone, and I can get a video on LinkedIn in 15 minutes using my phone, keeping it at 59 seconds, and it's automated captions that you get one shot to go back and edit after they come up. I love phone videos, just saying. Authentic is always more important than perfect. Yes, yes, I read that every day. And that's true. So I hope we've given you a few new things to think about. We've got a page of free resources that, we would love for everybody to obviously connect with us if you're not already. Subscribe to our newsletter. Hope to have the December issue out sometime next week. Follow our LinkedIn page for more tips. That's what we're about. And our website is available with some free downloads. We have an in-person, it's the last one of the year, LinkedIn workshop. We haven't done those for a while. We did one for the first time in years last month, and it was pretty well received. So Julie Bergeron and I are going to do another one December 9th in Wellington at the Community Center. So you can check out that Eventbrite link. She is an ace digital marketer. So we're each going to have an hour, and it's at a ridiculous price. So check it out and join us if you can. But I really appreciate your time today. Spending an hour, sorry, seems like an hour. Spending a half hour with us, thank you. And we're just wishing all our US friends a very happy Thanksgiving. And let's go on the holiday mindset. So cheers to all of you. Thanks again.